All right, guys, welcome. This is the Lasting Legacy Pod. My name is Brad Doss.
I am David Armenta, owner of David Took It.
I own Doss Financial Incorporated. So basically, I think today we kind of want to start talking about business goals. It's pretty fitting. The year end is coming up. Everyone does their New Year's resolution. I do a vision board. I don't know if you do vision boards. I do one every year.
I don't. I should. I used to do some slight journaling type stuff, and everything I did put in that journal at that time has come true. So I should probably start writing my stuff back down. Dude, honestly.
Yeah, I was watching Heavy D from Diesel Brothers.
Yeah.
And he said one time, he's like, I got to be careful what I put on my vision board because it always happens.
No, 100%.
And I've done it 2 years now. Almost everything on that vision board has been achieved. It's really strange.
No, it's super weird. I mean, and a lot of people, because I know you post yours in your office. I had a friend who would set short, medium, and long-term goals, and he would write it down on a whiteboard and leave it on his door. So every time he walked through that door, he looked at his goals, and that might be the first thing you see. So it kind of reminds you to stay on track. I don't really do that. I probably should. I mean, yeah.
I recommend it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I do. So for my company, I do like a vision board goals kind of all in one, I guess, like a one sheeter.
Yeah.
And we post it usually in both of the rooms here in the office. And then personally, me and my wife do like a big poster board, vision board every year.
Nice.
And then we put it underneath our TV in our bedroom.
Oh, that's really cool. So you stare at it.
Literally every single morning you wake up. Oh, we should probably take the Wi-Fi off that bad boy too.
I haven't turned off the Wi-Fi on this.
So
I was like, wait a minute.
Oh. But yeah, so every morning we wake up, you see that vision board right there. It's like very
you see it.
Yeah, you see it, and it's weird. It's like you almost like don't actively or like pursuing those things, but just by seeing them, you make subconscious effort.
Yeah, I was gonna say subconscious efforts. Like if you left something on the table and you're laying down watching TV, you're like, should I be here or should I be, working on these goals? Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like as the year goes through, you're like, oh, look at like I'm knocking some of these out. Like I do deserve a little vacation, or I do, you know what I mean?
You start like justifying irrational purchases.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
Me too.
What are your business goals for this next year?
So for 2021, honestly, I don't really care. Like I watch Graham Steff. This is a little off topic. I watch Graham Steff, and he's a YouTuber, and he will go into like the details of his finances and his numbers. And I know a lot of people try to keep it secret.
Yeah.
I don't know that I really care, so I'll just give you guys the real numbers of what my business goals are.
God, I don't even know my real numbers, so this will be interesting.
So basically what I do, we'll start with the goals. I don't want to get too long-winded, but our business goal for as far as total revenue goes for 2022 is $150,000 in total revenue for the year. I base that off of what I project, and then we add in what we want to grow.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the business goals. Another one is, I believe we set it at 200 tax returns this year that we want to file.
Is that personal or business or mixed?
Both, yeah. Personal, business, partnerships.
Nice.
All that. So 200 total tax returns filed for the year. And then off the top of my head, and then another goal we had is we want to have 2 meetings per month with potential new clients.
Nice. Okay.
So essentially leads, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you actively trying to get more leads for those, or is that part of what's coming?
Yeah, no, honestly right now I'm not really doing too much.
Just like network, you're at the coffee shop, you overhear somebody like, hey, come through.
To be honest right now, I mean, I'm not even doing anything. So
no, of course.
Pursuing those leads, but what the plan is, and this is those are the goals, and then the vision board side of things, I guess, is I usually try to do a marketing strategy for the year too.
Nice.
So I was going to work on that this month, and the goals, I mean, really having a solid marketing strategy is how I think we'll hit those 2 clients.
No, 100%.
Goals.
Whether it's boosting social posts or doing organic Google SEO, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure social media is huge.
Always.
So continue to be consistent on social media, even more consistent than I am now.
Seems
honestly,
like I'm employed through next year. So
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. David Took It. Shooting Tax Tuesday, still happening for another year.
We literally just shot Tax Tuesdays right before we came up here.
So but then also like local. Like I really would like to gain part of the market in Springs, Colorado Springs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to run more like Facebook ads. I feel like targeted ads are great for local, but I was considering even running like newspaper ads in the Colorado
Going
Springs
old school,
newspaper,
like in the Gazette and stuff. Yeah,
stuff like that.
I guess I never really thought about that. I don't really know anybody from Springs. Like here, nobody really gets the paper. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a dying thing. I don't know how alive the Gazette is or the Denver Post or what it costs to do that. I mean, I know the benefit of social media is the cost to reach more people is like a lot greater. Like it's cheaper to run social ads than it is like normal ads.
Yeah, like your cost per view
or
whatever is crazy more effective.
I could see that.
For sure. What I noticed is I've never run newspaper ads, but I've had newspaper articles written about me, and I have gotten clients from those articles.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And they were all over 65.
I was going to say, how old were those clients?
So, I mean,
which is
there's
a
market for that because
100%.
That's the market I'm probably never going to reach on TikTok or on Instagram.
Exactly.
So, for me too, and a lot of times, business owners, they stay in business their whole lives. So it wouldn't be crazy to find a 65-year-old business owner through a newspaper ad almost.
100%, so
I figure it's worth a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it a try. So, but yeah, those are kind of like the company numeric goals and vision board.
Nice.
We want to grow the team by one more person too. That's on the vision board.
I think that would be a stress saver for sure. And after a certain point, it's like it pays, like, yeah, you're losing money out of your pocket essentially, but the headaches and like the peace of mind is totally worth it at that point. And that's kind of where I'm at, where, it's kind of hard for me because it is an art form in a way. But if I have somebody, at least, editing for me or something like that, like I probably wouldn't give up editing for photos because I don't get too far behind. But video, if you drag in, like set the storyline rough cuts, and then I can go through and just add my look to it, make sure it sounds good, transitions, all that good stuff. I think that would help me tremendously as well. Yeah,
it's crazy. The cost to bring somebody in feels like a lot at the beginning.
Yeah.
But
your productivity will go up, so it overcompensates that loss.
Yeah, that, and what I realized too is like the employees that I have brought in and hired, it makes me create better systems for something that I already know in my head, but it makes me put those systems from my head onto a piece of paper. So then it makes it even easier to then bring in more people.
No,
so
100%.
Now, the plan is hopefully on our vision board, we bring in one more person, like an admin assistant that can do part-time bookkeeping. But it's like, boom, here's the companies. Here's our sheet for every company we do.
Yeah.
Here's exactly how we do the bookkeeping process month to month. Like it's already down on paper now, so it'll be a lot easier to
training them to follow that procedure.
Yeah. Your first couple of employees are always like the hardest, at least my experience so far.
Yeah.
The first ones are.
They pave the way. You implement more policies for your employees based off their actions and things that they've done. Sometimes it's probably best that you do start out with a tougher employee than, your golden star employee, because now you're going to hold everybody to that standard and you don't really see those roadblocks, versus like an employee who, wants to take workman's comp because they fell in the front door, like things like that you would probably never think of.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it for sure.
No, 100%.
So I think that would be cool if you got someone to help you out.
Yeah, I debated a personal assistant versus like somebody to help me with my work. It would be somebody to help me with my personal life. There's two things that I absolutely despise, and it's grocery shopping, and I absolutely can't stand getting my oil changed. And I have 3 cars, and I swear they're all due at the same time, so it'd be way easier if I paid somebody 8 hours a week. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like this week I always have 8 hours worth of stuff that I don't personally want to do, so I feel like my time is better used doing like my own things like editing, because I hate when I have to go grocery shopping or have to go do X, Y, and Z, and I have to stop editing, pack up my stuff, and then go do that, and then maybe come back, go to a photo shoot, come back again, re-edit. Like if it makes my life easier, it's totally worth it. And I've really debated it. I never went further with like looking or anything like that, but I wouldn't rule it out for sure.
That'd be cool. Jennifer always is like, you should get like a personal assistant or something like that.
Yeah, it would be cool. Great, honestly.
I would like have someone just follow you around.
I could come home and have the personal assistant wrapping my Christmas gifts, like little things like that. And to them, like, I wouldn't even care. I'd probably pay my personal assistant like 40, 45, maybe even $50 an hour, if it does make my life that much better. I'm not going to say they're going to be out there mowing my lawn because I have people for that, but still, like that was the biggest hindering in my life too, was mowing my own lawn. Like it was such a pain. I hate being outside hot. Then you got to take a shower. That clothes gets dirty. Like, so hiring landscapers was totally worth like my $35 a week for that service, and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, life
and I have
hack.
allergies, so
Life hack: just don't have a yard like me. And
no, honestly, if I could do it
pile.
all over again, I know it's totally off subject. If I could do it all over again, I would go AstroTurf all day.
That'd be cool.
It looks good all the time. I could just blow it off, and I don't have to worry about sprinklers and all that other stuff. My water bill stays low, and it still looks cool.
My house, it was built in 65 and we just moved in, and so like the whole entire upstairs brand new kitchen, brand new bathroom, 100%, like down to the studs and back up. We rebuilt it, so the inside of the house when you walk in is like super nice and super modern. But I haven't done anything to the outside of the yard, so my front yard
just the
like
curb
white
appeal
trash.
Is not there.
Yeah, I look like white trash.
You got a bathtub in
my
your
neighbors
front lawn.
for sure hate me. I have a carport where I've just been throwing like
boxes.
Like I have like all my old kitchen cabinets still.
Oh my god!
I have like a desk. Yeah,
you should just list it on Marketplace. Somebody will pick it up, reface them, and then unless you want to sell them.
No, I just want to throw them away.
Yeah, you.
That's kind of like
just post it.
That's kind of like
somebody
the
will
headache.
hustle.
No, I don't have the time.
No, they just show up and pick it up.
I don't even have time to post it.
Oh
Plus,
my
they've been
God.
sitting out in the rain for like a year.
Okay.
They're
Never
done.
Mind. Yeah, no, they're cooked.
They're done. I'm just gonna have my.
You got a
my
fireplace? Just burn them.
I'm gonna have my father-in-law bring his dump trailer and just park it.
Yeah, no, that
and
that
load
might be
it up.
best.
But like, it's funny because like that's one of the things where it's like, it's not worth my time. If I had a personal assistant, I'd be like, hey,
Go take these.
go put these on Facebook and
Yeah.
see what I can sell for these stupid cabinets I don't want.
Exactly. Yeah. No, 100%. And I feel like the personal assistant is probably going to be somebody who maybe admires you, or it's going to be a good fit. So I feel like if they were, a connecting person, like I would never be your personal assistant, but still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if somebody was like, oh yeah, like a part-time college student or something like that, maybe they're going to school for accounting. So the best way to, become what you want is to shadow that exact person who does what you do, So I think if you became like a personal assistant to the person who does exactly what you would do, like that's ideal, honestly.
I watched a lot of YouTube. And
Me too.
I think it was actually the Graham Stephan show, but this guy, he's a real estate agent in New York, Ryan Sehart, and he's on $1 Million Listing New York, and they did a podcast, and he was talking about how he's hiring people that think like him, that way they can respond to his emails for him, and they can do all the stuff for him.
That's smart.
But he's like, you have to find someone that can really think like you, and then you got to be comfortable turning the reins over.
That's the thing right there.
So
I wouldn't be comfortable having my assistant answer my Instagram DMs or anything like that, even though I have pretty much set rates. I don't know, it's a control thing, 100%. Like eventually I'll give up the control thing, because that is the next biggest burden in my life, is like dealing with my calendar, which the website has helped, but there still has to be an interaction there. Like I'm not saying I want to be like a robot, and I don't want to be the vending machine of photo video, but if there was a way to simplify that even further, I would not be opposed to that.
So is that one of your goals?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you thought about your business goals for 22 yet?
No, I've thought about the direction. I don't have hard number goals. I should probably add it up. I've probably shot, there's 365 days in a year. I've probably done at least 300 photo shoots this year. And some days I shoot 3 times videos. Like, I mean, with you alone, we shoot at least once a month. And then that's during the day. Usually I have another shoot right after you. Like I shoot through the weekend. I don't really have set days off right now. It's just grind. So I guess one of my goals is to increase my rates. And we talked about this, 6 months ago, increase the rate, because the demand is so high. And then not everybody's going to say yes, and I have to be okay with that. I need to be okay with hearing no for sure, because I might not be in your price range, but it's going to weed out the less serious ones, the ones that are going to reschedule or flake or anything like that, which the deposit kind of helps with that. So increase the deposit, increasing the overall cost of the photo shoot, still delivering the same value, because I feel like nobody beats me in value. You might we might shoot a family session. I guarantee at minimum 30, I'm probably going to deliver 60 to 70 photos, which is way more than you're ever going to need. Way more black and whites, like whatever. But it doesn't take me that much longer. I don't want to produce and give you just that 30. I still want to give you every good photo we shot. But I think increasing that rate, maybe losing a few potential clients throughout the way. And, so it's, even if I lost half, like you said, if I doubled my rate, lost half, I'm still making the exact same amount, but working less.
Double the time still.
100%. Yeah. So that is one thing I want to do. The other thing that's still kind of in the works would be a shooting studio where other photographers can rent from me, because I'm one of the only ones that really knows how to use lighting here, whether it's strobes or constant light. I don't really do mini sessions, but I feel like I can capitalize and make a name for myself still by owning a studio and having, let's say you're a photographer, you can rent said studio from me, build your set. It would be done in time slots, all on my website as well. I don't even need to be there. I can absolutely be there, but at the end of the day, you're paying me, whatever the booth rent is, to use it for that block, and then you take your stuff away or whatever. Like, I think that would be super cool.
Yeah, I think like in your field, and I deal with this a lot because I always work with a ton of people in the hair industry, and it's like when you're doing something like that, you get to a point where you're so busy, the only way to make more money is either increase your rates or do something else.
No, 100%.
Because you can only shoot so many pictures.
Exactly. I only shoot once a day, and I've been stacking clients to really, I shoot an hour and a half before the sun sets, and I've been breaking that up and shooting clients, for 45 minutes, and then the next client comes for 45 minutes. So I'm still capitalizing on the hour and a half of best sunlight, but still sometimes that's a bit much, to me. I'd rather just charge the first client double and they'd still be okay with it, and not shooting the person before them, or just separating it.
Those first people get added value too, because now they don't feel rushed or anything.
Exactly. I'm pretty efficient
they
as well.
can shoot. Yeah, you can shoot.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a couple extra things they want to shoot, or if you have two clients that don't want to shoot anywhere near each other,
if there's a wardrobe change,
impossible.
Forget it. If the whole family has a wardrobe change, that idea gets automatically thrown out the window. Which usually I kind of know what to expect with everybody. Seniors are the only ones I really expect outfit changes for. Maybe maternity, which honestly maternity is one of my favorite things to shoot. Seniors next, then couples. Family photos. I like the big ones, but it's kind of like herding cats. So it wouldn't really hurt my feelings. And right now, those are my biggest money makers.
You've been doing a lot
of those big
families.
Yeah, big
posts
families.
More people than I have in my extended family.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm like, man, and they all got kids, and the odds of me getting that one shot, they are all. I set the expectation, and that's for any business. Really set that expectation of what you are going to receive. I would rather under promise, over deliver. I would rather under promise, over deliver than, oh man, you're gonna have the best big family photo. Everyone's gonna be looking, everyone's gonna be smiling, no one's finger's gonna be in their nose. It's gonna be great. And then I can't deliver that. I'd rather their kids, it is what it is. As a kid, I didn't like my photo being taken, so my head was turned every single time. I don't know why. It's
especially when there's 30, it's impossible to be 30, okay,
40.
Stop.
I just did one with 40. It's crazy. And having
you're not gonna
lens,
know anybody.
No,
name.
I have no idea.
You can't be hey Chuck, please turn your head.
Yeah, I don't know you on the Chuck. Right with the no, not you, and usually people kind of know, but I think. As for goals, going back to that, it is going to be increase the rate, increase the deposit, hopefully increase quality. I've made the steps this year. If you take my first photo of the year and then compare it up against what I look like now with my photos and quality, I don't think they're not even the same person. So
you've been spending enough money on equipment,
100%
to increase your product quality.
Changed every camera body that I own so far. We've moved to wireless mic systems, lenses, higher quality lenses, and it really makes a difference. Once you buy it once, you're golden.
New computer, maybe that helps.
I did. I did buy the new M1 MacBook Pro did help, and it looks cool. It's fast, but little things like that. The more time I'm spending on a project, the less money I'm making because it's time dedicated. So if I can transfer those files, get them edited without any hiccups with the computer, that's well worth my money. I would pay double for it.
Oh yeah, and you get a little tax write-off.
No, of course, absolutely, and it's cool. Like I love technology, so that's one of the big reasons why I got into like this field is like these microphones and like the iMac and buying GarageBand, Logic, whatever, like all that stuff is like super interesting, paying attention to all the updates and stuff.
Yeah, even just like messing with this stuff, it's been pretty cool. Like the lighting.
Yeah.
Like these mics are crazy. Like these mics were like what, $35?
$35, not Black Friday
Killer.
deal. Yeah, 100%.
They're so nice.
You can't beat it. You don't have to run a mix.
Razor's a good brand.
Honestly, yeah. A lot of people didn't like the big version that they made, but these mini ones are just the way to go. The stands were like $15. I mean, it's probably not the best boom stand. Like that probably doesn't sound really nice.
Rattle.
But essentially, I mean, for what we do, and if this ends up going bigger, then 100%, then we'll upgrade as we see. But right now, I feel like this is a really solid starting spot.
It looks good on the camera for sure.
No, 100%.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll get rid of the IKEA desk. Maybe get something a little nicer.
Yeah, who
step
knows?
it on
Yeah,
up.
we obviously we changed the set from the first one. Moved into a bigger room. Thank God. Once again, thank God Brad got the big office. So
it's funny because it's the smallest office in the building.
That's so insane. And like when you first moved in, we thought it was so massive.
I know.
So rule of thumb, if you're looking for real estate or something like that, get way bigger than what you think you're going to need because you're going to definitely grow into it for sure.
I mean, I came from an office that was 100 square feet.
That's
like 5x my space because this one's about 500 square feet.
No, 100%.
So,
and I feel like we've shot every angle in this place.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And honestly, like my next office, I was thinking trying to find something like 2,000 square feet.
Yeah, like a big floor.
4x this size. Yeah.
That would be sweet.
That would be cool.
That's a big play too if you get a big office or whatever. I mean, subleasing, depending on your contract and stuff, is kind of like frowned upon. But like if you had an office and then let's say that there was like a financial advisor in there, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
I want keep building one-stop shop.
I guess like long-term goal for my company, I want a financial advisor like on my payroll. Like I want a financial advisor on my team because they have to have I have a pretty good idea of finance, retirement, stuff like that, but I can't recommend anything or I can't do anything like
Somebody
that.
Somebody who dedicates their time to
you have to have
that.
license and stuff to do all that stuff. So I can get in trouble. And I don't have the time to go through and get all those licenses and certifications and stuff. I just want to hire somebody that I really like.
Yeah, who can handle it.
Because I work with like successful clients all the time, and then they want to, invest their money, have a lasting legacy. Boom, two podcasts in a row. I circled around to the name. And
I just thought it was a good name. Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, here's the 3 people in town that I've talked to that I send people to. And then a lot of times it never really pans out. I would love to have someone in office. Yeah. It'd be really cool.
It'd be great.
That's probably more like a, I don't know, 5 to 10 year goal or something, honestly.
What is like your short-term goal then?
I don't know. I guess what's short-term? Like a month?
Next 6 months, honestly.
I don't know. Like those goals I said, I would probably say those are like medium term maybe. Those like 1 year. Short-term goals really, right now my goals are just get ready for tax season.
No, 100%.
And then
get the team ready for tax season as well. Because this will be the team's first tax season with everybody, right?
This will be the first tax season where I had people employed before tax season,
because usually it's like mid-tax season.
So what happened was 2 years ago I hired a remote bookkeeper, which bookkeeping and taxes are not really related, so it didn't really affect my tax season that much. But I had a remote bookkeeper. I hired her though like right before tax season was over, and then last year I hired someone middle of tax season also. So this will be the first year going into tax season with a team. And so get everything like squared away and set. Yeah, I'm pretty excited, honestly. I feel like I say this every year, but I feel like I'm more prepared, which I guess you should be every year, right?
Yeah, 100%. You should be more prepared. The expectation. This isn't your first rodeo anymore. Like you've been doing this 100%. Like, I mean, I probably just shot my 25th wedding. The first one, you're like, oh man, I missed this shot. Like by now I know. And I even let, going back to setting the expectation, I let them know, hey, you're going to see me standing around a lot. I have it so dialed in. I only need 5 getting ready shots for her, 5 getting ready shots for him. Anything more than that helps me tell the story, and and I know exactly what shots I need. And it's not saying like, oh, lazy, you should keep pushing yourself. Like, no, like every time I press the record button, it is money lost, because that's more memory on the hard drives and everything like that, more computing power. But I know exactly what I need.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about being efficient and effective.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like for me with taxes is a lot of times it gets so busy. I'll have a system in place. Like last year I had what I thought was a great system. It was almost like a waterfall system, and each tax basically moved down the waterfall through the steps. And then like after a couple, I realized I was like, oh, I'm missing a step here. I'm missing a step here. And then it got screwed up. And then it was so busy. It was so screwed up. Then I was
we just got to run with it.
Yeah. I was like, okay, we just got to go.
Yeah.
So, but last year's also basically just me. And then I had my mom helping me actually do some admin stuff. But yeah, it was, I don't know. It was, we'll see. But I think this year is going to be pretty excited. It's like short-term goals right now. I'm basically focused on just tax season, getting prepared for tax season.
Heck yeah.
Because it'll be here in a month, and then I'll be busy.
Before you know it. No, 100%. Then it's going to be like, no podcast this week. No podcast this week.
I'll figure out time.
No, of course, yeah. Like I said, I'm free once the sun goes down. After that, I don't really do
Works
anything.
out great because the sun sets at like 4 now.
Yeah, right. 100%. The sun's setting as we speak. So you have Kpi Key Performance Indicators.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea what that is. So
fill us that's in. Kpi Key Performance Indicators. I don't know if he created this, but there's an accountant on Instagram called Tyler McBroom, and he talks about this a lot. And basically, it's when you're looking at your business, find your key performance indicators, 3 numbers inside your business, and focus on those
3 numbers.
So that way it kind of simplifies what you're trying to do
instead of looking at it as a whole.
Yeah, because you build up those 3 numbers instead of saying like, oh, I want to cut my expenses down or something. Well, then you have to look at like every single expense kind of thing. It makes it more simple. You're only looking at 3 numbers.
True.
And it's specific, like for me, like the new client meeting, like I want to grow, and I know I want to grow. So I did the math. I figured if I can bring on X amount of people at this amount per month, that's how much I'm going to grow. So that's how come I have those 2 new clients each, 2 new meetings each month. And so every business is definitely different, like yours, I don't know.
My goal is like I want to phase out, like I said, so with raising prices and deposits, I'm going to automatically phase out normal photo shoots, which is fine. It's naturally going to happen. And it's not my reoccurring clients. They're going to come no matter what for the most part, unless I'm charging like $5,000 for a photo shoot, which is unrealistic. I'm talking about incremental, like $100 increase. You know what I mean? But when I add the deposit, even if I double my deposit, people are only going to notice like a $25 increase, and nobody's really going to care because they're paying that deposit up front. So my goal is to bring on more small business clients with the 3-tier packages with photo, video, maybe at my lowest package, $400. And I come through once a month and I give you, let's say 15 photos and a 30-second ad based, highlighting a service or a product that you want highlighted. And I even thought it out, like even if I just had 20 clients at $400, that's $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm shooting once a day.
Yeah. It's like a KPI for that situation is like, I want 5 clients in the bronze, 5 in the silver, 5 in the gold, or something 100%. Like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And right now, I already have clients in my gold category that doesn't even exist. I have clients that pay me, $1,000 a month for, obviously you are getting more value. I probably make 9 30-second like TikTok type videos for them, and then like photos for each one. And with that, it's a pretty broad audience. So I'm not going to say which client it is, but yeah, it's a pretty big audience that I'm hitting. And the things that could come from this, they put me in positions where I am dealing with top level athletes.
Which even more possibilities.
Exactly.
That'd be so cool. I always thought it'd be cool to like work with like athletes or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
like, I don't know though, like do their taxes. Like the Broncos.
I think it'd be interesting. I mean,
crazy,
honestly, if you get one, I feel like it would just snowball.
Oh, yeah.
All you need is the word of mouth and somebody to vouch you out.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened in like the hair industry for me.
Oh, 100%.
I look at it and I'm like, dang, I know so many people that are barbers or estheticians.
It started with one barbershop video from me.
Hair and beauty.
Then,
it's like all in one.
Yeah, no, 100%, because I shoot estheticians all the time too. I have 3 or 4 estheticians that I've shot now, whether that's headshots, beauty salon, like I prefer to go into your establishment and shoot personally. Like I want those action shots of you fanning those eyelashes or, doing whatever you do. I'm going to break into the Botox industry next.
There you go.
I think that would be
I need
the
some
lip fillers.
Botox big time. I need to like raise these bad boys up.
No, 100%. Yeah.
But I don't know why I was just born looking old as hell with these eyes, man.
With that Benjamin button.
Yeah. I need a.
But yeah, 100%. I feel like once you get into, like, I did one restaurant video and other restaurants are, calling for something similar. Like people see it and they just don't really know who to reach out to,
Yeah, they run together. People like run together, whatever that saying is.
Yeah. Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you get into industry or specific something like that with one person,
niche,
like boom, boom, boom.
Fitness for me, that rolled like.
Oh yeah, that's
I don't know
huge.
anybody else who shoots fitness. Like
I don't know either.
Honestly, here, like the kind of fitness I do, like sports. Absolutely, there's a lot of sports photographers, but honestly, it doesn't really interest me that much unless like somebody hired me to focus on one person. But like I don't know how many photos like a Broncos sideline person shoots because you don't know what's going to be cool or a pivotal moment in the game.
I feel like they shoot so many pictures too, like not knowing anything.
Yeah,
just
actually,
hoping something cool happens.
They wirelessly. It's a whole team. So the guy on the field is shooting the photos, and they're wirelessly syncing up to somebody in the booth, and they're editing those as they come in.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
They apply like a certain preset, and then they kind of just doctor it up, fix the croppings, punch in a little bit, maybe sharpen it.
That's crazy.
I mean, but with like football, you don't really have to worry about facial expressions because their face is covered.
Yeah.
So it's just nailing focus at that point. But it's a whole thing, like for ESPN and all those people, it's just wireless transmits all day because it has to be ASAP.
Yeah, everything's so quick.
No, 100%.
That's crazy. They have like those cameras that are like this big.
Yeah, so look it up on B&H Photo. Some of those lenses are $15,000-$20,000 just for the lens. The monopod actually attaches to the lens and not the camera body to like make it more balanced. It's so crazy.
Well, yeah, for that freaking long.
Wildlife photographers use them. Like,
yeah,
it's expensive to shoot guns really far, and it's expensive to shoot photos really far. Like it's so crazy.
That is true.
100%.
That's a funny analogy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a gun guy too, so like buying scopes is like super expensive. Like Swarovski, the crystal company, they make a scope glass. So it's Swarovski crystal glass that's on it, and it's probably the most HD thing I've ever seen in my life.
How much is that?
Oh, I don't even know. Probably super stupid. It was binoculars I was looking at. Those binoculars were probably more than this Mac, which was crazy.
That's crazy.
I don't understand it, but that's, whatever. What do you think what do you think things that you could do better, like within your business? Like, what could you improve on?
Communication.
I feel like
100%. Like it's so busy to like try to get back on socials, on emails, on phone calls, on text messages. Like I got 2 separate phones last year or whenever I did that. That was a huge game changer. Yeah, that was a game changer. 2 phones for sure. But
2 cell phones, one needs a charge.
Yeah. No, they usually both do, and so does my iPad.
Yeah.
But the communication for me is hard. I want to get back to clients like ASAP. You know what I mean? Like people don't want to wait even 8 hours. Like if someone calls me at 9 and
if they wait 8 hours, they've already reached out to somebody else.
Yeah, that's the problem. And so like, my turnaround time for getting back to some people like can literally be like 48 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just like I have so much stuff to do. Boom, boom, boom. I'm working, and then I'm like, oh shit, it's 5:30, it's 6 o'clock or something.
Do you think like creating a website and scheduling those meetings would be good? Like if you dedicate meetings to Monday, Wednesday, Friday after 12 o'clock, they can go in there self-service, and then you have their contact info. You might not need to know them or reach out, but just know, hey, your meeting's confirmed.
That's actually a good idea. Like what my problem is, like I hate having to respond to phone calls because it's like an impromptu meeting.
Once you pick it up, you're committed to that call.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, let me call you back. I'm never going to call you back. I'll forget.
Yeah.
40 other things happen between the moment I hung up.
People are like, oh, no, let me hurry up and like let me ask this question. It's never that simple in accounting too.
Never, because I don't know what you did last year.
So I mean, setting up like online scheduling, which we're working on. Hopefully that'll be up by the end of the year.
Yeah.
That will help big time.
That's helped me.
And then also what I need to do is what I was thinking about doing was just setting like 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night. So like between 9 and 9:30, and then 3 and 3:30 every day, like phone calls and texts just to get back to people.
Do you feel like 30 minutes is enough time?
No, not really.
Say,
but
at least you've touched back.
It's better than what I'm
no,
not
100%.
Doing. Even if someone calls me and I shoot them a text and I'm like, hey, sorry I couldn't get back to your call. You
just don't answer the reply, so you know to go back. Yeah,
I know you need. Listen, a lot of people leave me voice messages or they call me,
is cool.
And they say what they need. So if I could even just shoot them a text like, "Sorry, I didn't have time to get back to your phone call. Here's the website. Go ahead and just book like a 15-minute phone call with me.
Exactly.
That way we can go over it. You know, something like that would be easier. Because what I've noticed too is like communication wise in my head, and I've gotten a little better, but in my head I'm like, okay, here's what they need. I'm not going to get in touch with them until I have what they need.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
in front of me.
That's a terrible way to do it, actually. What I have been doing, what I need to do is, okay, here's what you need. Give them a call. Hey, I know what you need. Give me time to get it.
Exactly.
Then they're like, okay, peace of mind. It's getting taken care of. If it takes 72 hours, that's fine. But I know what's going on. I'm not sitting around.
The next interaction is going to be the answer.
And I'm not sitting around 72 hours like, Brad, did you get my call? Did you get my text? What's going on with this? You know what I mean? At least they know, okay, he's working on it, whatever.
No, 100%.
People are pretty considerate with that.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
But it's the problem. It's when they like, because people will call me and like, hey, I need this. And I'm like, okay, like I need to run, I don't know, profit and losses form or whatever. I don't know. So I won't call them. And then like 2 days when I have the profit and loss, and then people are getting mad. That's what I was learning.
Takes too long.
So now I'll shoot them a text. I'm like, hey, I got your voicemail. Give me a couple of days and I'll get that over to you.
Is that like, let's say the profit loss thing, is that something people normally need, or is that like a very weird thing?
That's not very common.
Okay.
Like,
let's
most
say
people want it for like housing or something.
Yeah.
But.
So let's say, because I know you, and we've never talked about this on the podcast, but you do run an online client portal where you upload your tax documents, and it kind of takes away from me dropping off a bin of files and receipts to you. I would just upload like Venmo receipts, Square receipts, PayPal, all that good stuff, and then like all your purchases and all that good stuff, and you can file format it online. Now, is that something that you can upload through there? Like, I know you do DocuSigns through email.
Oh, yeah, like profit and loss.
Yeah, where they can self-service it, like, hey, your profit loss is either emailed to you or it's in your portfolio.
Yeah, that's probably makes a lot of sense, because like every month for like my monthly bookkeeping clients, quarterly bookkeeping, every month you get a profit and loss. You get your financial statements once we're done bookkeeping. But the problem is most people don't keep them. So then they get them, but then 4 months later, they're like, hey, I need April's profit and loss. I'm trying to get a loan.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I already sent it to you.
Yeah.
So then it's
in
like,
your email.
What do I do? Do I charge them for my 15 minutes? Yeah. Because I really should. I already sent it to you. Yeah. I really should charge them for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel bad. And then at the same time, I have to take another 15 minutes to send out the damn invoice.
No, 100%, because now you got to find it, or you got to find what you said originally in that first email.
That would make sense to get it to have those kind of documents.
Yeah, 100%, like 2021 documents. Like, I'm all about organization. Yeah. That's one thing I'm learning. Like, I've been trying to get you my tax forms for like 2 months now to determine certain moves that we're going to make for next year, and they're all in a folder on my computer. I'm just so lazy I'm uploading constantly, and the last thing I want to upload is my fucking Venmo receipts.
Taxes, like, not a lot of people are super eager to do their accounting.
No, 100%, anyway, and that's why I'm like, oh man, like, I need to, because it's going to be more beneficial for me long term. But like, just the thought of how many different avenues of income and spending that I have, it's just unreal. Like, I can type in receipt in my email account. Like, that's the other thing too that I would recommend to everybody. Like, make your email account for your business separate than like your personal email, because then you're gonna get like if I know it's a business expense, I use the business debit card. I will not use my business debit card to go out to eat at Red Robin. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I'll use Venmo and let you sort through that, But it's mind numbing to me. Like, I know I bought this camera. I bought 3 flashes this year. I can only find receipts for 2 of those flashes, but I have no idea where I bought that last flash.
Yeah.
And I even have the receipt from when I bought one off Facebook Marketplace. Like, she gave me an invoice, so that was nice, but it was just such a pain.
Yeah, it is. That's why, like, monthly bookkeeping too, like
Way
monthly or
easier.
quarterly, it's because you try and do it a
Way
year.
easier, yeah.
It's hard.
No, 100%.
It's so hard.
We did the first 6 months, and like grabbing the first 6 months was okay because I didn't really have a lot of spending. There wasn't as many transactions, and then you're looking at the last like 4 months to kind of get ready for the actual tax season. It's been a nightmare. Like 100%, it's been a nightmare because I bought more stuff. I've done more. My mileage has gone up. Like all that good stuff. That's the other thing. Track that mileage. I use Mileage IQ. They're not sponsored or anything, but it works
Not
really
yet.
well. Not yet. But you can put a beacon in your car, or you can just do an odometer reading if it's a dedicated car. Like that's super nice. But yeah, it's just been a pain.
It's a lot to have a very good set of books and save money. It is a lot of work. And
But it's worth it.
You can't just hire an accountant because a lot of the work they can't do for you.
No,
you know,
yeah, and that's what I asked you. I was
they
like, do
guide
people just
you.
give you your passwords? Like, like I can give you my Venmo, Cash App, all those passwords, but like it's still kind of a pain.
Most people only have one bank account, David. So
Well, I have a bank account, but the money has to go through other transactions before it hits that bank account. 'cause
yeah, I
I'm-
know. Like most people are like, give me your bank account, give me your Square sign-ons.
Yeah, honestly,
But-
like ideally, that would be way easier. Square has been a game changer. Their fees kind of suck, but we can write those off anyway.
Well, Cash App and Venmo, they're changing too next year. They're going to
really?
start doing fees.
See,
If they think you're a business, everyone's been trying to get around it.
Oh, I probably
But we'll
have
see.
300 transactions through Venmo because
Yeah.
the deposit comes through there. Well, it was. Now it goes through Square, and then that gets dumped into the bank account. But Venmo, it's been like deposit and then transaction for the actual service. So it's been a pain. So it's probably like, so if I shot 200 times this year and they pay me through Venmo, I have 400 Venmo transactions for that one.
Yeah, like you're gonna get flagged for sure,
Oh,
and
easily,
pay
100%.
Venmo fees the same as
Yeah.
Square fees anyway.
Absolutely. Honestly, I might as well just move it all to Square at this point.
So maybe, yeah,
Square and Cash.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
That sounds terrible.
It sounds like a lot of work, though. I know.
100%. Yeah, I'm like,
'Cause I use two different invoices. I use Square partially, but then I also use Wave app. But I want to move everything to Square.
No,
but I have a
100%.
ton of people set up on direct deposit. They have their card saved on Wave
Exactly.
app, so I'm just like, what a headache.
At least it's only 2 spots
yeah,
versus
it's nothing crazy.
mine.
It's just a bummer because if I switch people over, I have auto pay for a lot of my clients. Just
Yeah,
auto
you don't
pay
want to
me.
like, lose it. Yeah.
So now I got to go back and go through the struggle of getting everyone set back up on auto pay.
and that takes like a whole day to like try and figure out those
Oh,
things. And
yeah.
like I've even like in the early stages of my website, like my out of town deposits are more than my in town deposits, and a lady booked an out of town shoot and paid an in town deposit, and I was like, oh my god, like how did I overlook that? But there's just so many service opportunities within Square, and it's easy, but it's such a pain. Like I'm thankful for it now, but it still needs tweaking.
takes a lot of work
100%.
for sure.
Yeah.
So
Let's see here. I guess we'll finish with this question because we're coming up on time. But how do you think you know when you've made it? Like, it's kind of a weird question because it's not really related to anything. But like, how do you know when you've made it? I feel like you never really make it.
yeah, I
You're
don't
always
know.
pushing. Like, if you would have looked at where you were 3 years ago, you would be like, dang, like that'd be sweet because you hit your vision board. You hit the goals, but.
That's hard. I don't know. It is weird. It's like, do you ever like make it? I guess. I think the key is to stop. Not like don't keep pushing back the goalposts. Like if your vision right now is like you want this house, like once you get that house, like just be like, okay, this is like the house I envisioned. Like,
Cool. Yeah.
it's kind of weird. You have
It's
to
like
be
short-term gratification in a
you
weird
have
way
to
because I'm
be-
always looking at the next big thing.
Me too, 100%. I think it's natural.
Yeah.
It's hard though to be, content with what you have and
I feel like
appreciative.
entrepreneurs are never content. You're always pushing, and it's like, okay, like I killed it in this field. Like you're like, I'm a dope accountant. Like I've done this. I have anybody who's anybody on my payroll or whatever. Like I'm doing their stuff, but it's like I think you would like want to push your time into something else and like try and grow something else. So then you're like, oh man, I didn't make it. Like in your head, it's just like, man, if only I could really make these sub sandwiches work. Even though I've got a successful accounting firm, I really want to make sub sandwiches now. And so you're not going to know you made it until the sub sandwich is working. And then you're like, oh man, I really, really like making all these TikToks, but I'm not verified. Like weird things like that.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. How do you think you made it?
I mean, looking at where I'm at now versus like 2 years ago, like 2 years ago, I would be like, oh man, you made it. Like, it must be nice, you know? But now it's just like part of the routine. So you don't really stop to think.
Yeah.
But I think there's a boudoir photographer out of LA, and his average sale for one client is $4,500.
That's insane.
And the actual shoot is only $600, which I say only, but that's still kind of expensive. But if you saw his photos, you'd be like, okay, cool. Like, he's got a cool style. All of his money is made through in-person sales. So he might be making a photo album. He might be getting all these prints and like adding all these other services on. But at the end of the day, he said his average client is $4,500, and he shoots 40 clients a year.
160.
Chilling. On top of, he sells online content such as presets. He sells posing guides. He sells running your business stuff. He does webinars. He does like all this online content that you can consume and buy, and those average $400 per. Or you can buy the whole thing, you know. So he's making money without having to actually do it, and he has a successful YouTube channel where he does show like some behind the scenes stuff. So I think something like that would be really, really cool, you know, where I carry, you know, like I said, I guess full-time switch to small business where I carry no more. I will not take on another job. I have these 20 clients that I get to focus on, and I can put all my time and energy into them. And then that's all I got to worry about. I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. I don't know. I never thought of it until right now, but I almost feel like I've already made it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, 100%.
In the sense of like, there's always things I want to achieve and things I want to do, but in the sense of like, I'm happy. Like, I have like, that's for me. I think happiness is happiness how you know you made it. I think that's more than any dollar figure or 100%. Client figure you can put. Like, are you happy? Do you wake up smiling? Do you wake up excited to go to work?
That's what I'm saying. From 3 years ago to today, like, I'm 4 times more happy today than I was 3 years ago. Shit, even you know, I would say 3 months ago. But essentially, like, even within the last year, like, I'm miles more happy. I'm way less stressed. And like financial freedom and all that stuff, like it feels good to not be worried about money or anything like that. Like, I think, who said it? I want to say Gary Vee said it, but he's like, I know way more unhappy millionaires than people who make $100,000 a year. Yeah. So like, if you can find that nice happy medium where it's like, I got what I want, you know, like I might not have a Huracan, but you know, like I got a Tesla and I'm chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying that those two cars are comparable, but
I think the Tesla's better.
100%, like long term.
And short term.
Yeah.
Like the human happiness. Humans are very adaptive. So like using that same example, you buy a Tesla, it'll give you the same feeling, a very good feeling for like 3 months. And then it's just, and then it kind of fades away. You get back to normal. You're going to get that exact same feeling whether you buy a Tesla or a Lamborghini. 100%. But generally speaking, on your personality, they're going to fade away at the exact same time. Exactly. So it's like the Tesla, the Huracan, Ferrari, like whatever you like after 3 months or whatever, you know, you're going to be back to your baseline. Quick. You know, I had bought an Infiniti and I didn't like the car payment. It was like $500 a month and it just sucked. I hated giving the bank $500 and I was over it. And I was like, man, like I bought a Ford Ranger like 6 years ago for $3,200, which I still have today. And I was like, this $3,200 truck has given me more smiles and like I enjoy it way more than this car that I'm paying $500 a month for. Is it because it's paid off? I don't know. But just like being in it and like just going to the mountains and like whatever, like it's super, super cool. And it gives me way more like gratification, and it's been long term. It's been 6 years and I still get super excited when I go and drive it, you know, and it's not anything special, but it's weird. It doesn't cost me $500 a month. It's weird how that works, huh? Yeah. It's crazy.
100%. So. But
well, I think, do you have anything else to say about goals?
Set goals, short, medium, long term, stick to them every day.
For sure. Yeah. And I'm a big proponent for vision boards. Put it down on paper, put it out in the universe,
Yeah.
and it will happen. I think that's kind of.
I think I'm gonna start journaling again. But yeah.
I'm not a writer. I'll keep drawing pictures.
Oh man, yeah, 100%. This has been the Lasting Legacy podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check us out next week. We're gonna have weekly episodes, so we leave a comment on who you would like to see on the show, and we'll try and get them in here. But thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See ya.
We're out.